Now to our other major story of the day, the first cabinet shakeup of President Trump's second term. This afternoon, the president fired Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Despite the decision, Noem went ahead with a previously scheduled speech in Nashville, making no mention of her dismissal. She had faced bipartisan criticism in recent months over the agency's handling of the immigration crackdown, delays in emergency response, and a $220 million ad campaign in which she was prominently featured. President Trump says he has created a new role for her called Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas. He also announced his choice to replace Noem. That's Senator Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma. Lisa Desjardins is here with more. So, Lisa, what was the breaking point?
As you say, Noem had been under increased scrutiny because of the ICE crackdown in American cities and the documented deaths of Americans and violent detentions that were on videotape. Now, it does seem, however, that really the breaking point was testimony this week and that $220 million ad campaign that you mentioned, which prominently featured her. Some of our viewers have seen that footage before. And that ouster really came, especially during a key moment that I saw and our viewers saw when we reported on this, when Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana questioned her about this.
The president approved ahead of time you spending $220 million running TV ads across the country in which you are featured prominently.
Yes, sir. We went through the legal processes, did it correctly.
Did the president know
worked
you
with
were going to do
OMB.
this?
Yes.
He did.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Senator Kennedy told me he spoke with President Trump that night and that Trump not only denied what Kristi Noem had said, but he was sharply angry about it.
So how did Senator Mullin get to become the nominee? As I understand it, the president likes watching him on television.
Right. Mullin is well-liked by the president, and he has friends in the cabinet, Secretaries Rubio and Hegseth, for example, as well. He's known as loyal. He's good on television. It's seeming to the president seems to think that. But what's interesting here, Jeff, is that Senator Mullin told us today that he found out about this nomination barely a moment before we did, before the president announced it himself. He said, quote, to us, that it was a little bit of a surprise for us. He said he hadn't even had the chance to call Secretary Noem or his wife yet. He was already talking to the press, hadn't called either of them. He did praise Noem, but he said he's going to look for ways to improve.
Is there always lessons to be learned? You know, listen, my wife and I, we have, over the years, we have been fortunate enough to purchase companies and grow our companies, and every day there's something you can do better. And so I think there's an opportunity to build off successes, and there's also opportunities to build off things that maybe didn't go quite as planned.
If confirmed, Mullin would head one of the largest agencies in terms of personnel. Of course, it is also in a shutdown. There's also political stakes here. As you know, Republicans have been on a rock slide on what used to be one of their best issues, immigration.
So tell us more about him and what his leadership, if confirmed, would mean for DHS.
He's an interesting man. Let's take a look at his biography, first of all. Mullin is a lifelong Oklahoman. He's a businessman, owned a family plumbing business as well as real estate and a farm, a ranch. He was elected to the House in 2012 and the Senate 10 years later. He serves on several committees. The most prominent ones are Senate Armed Services and Appropriations. Mullin is also a member of the Cherokee Nation. He has a big personality. He walks the halls bouncing a rubber ball, almost like Steve McQueen style. He also is, people are wondering what he would mean as a secretary. It's not clear yet. We don't know what his Homeland Security experience is exactly. He indicated that it's Trump's policy that he will enforce that. But I want to raise, just last month, he was on a conservative radio talk show, and he said he's open to some kind of legal status for DACA recipients or folks who are undocumented and came here more than 10 years ago.
We used the caveat earlier, if confirmed. I guess I'll ask the question, is he someone who can get confirmed?
The assumption right now is yes. Senators always have a leg up when they go up for confirmation, even more when you're a Republican. You need just 50 votes right now for confirmation as a cabinet secretary. There are 53 Republicans. Democrat John Fetterman of Pennsylvania already says he is a yes. Now, other Democrats say they're hoping that perhaps this could help them in DHS negotiations about the shutdown, but they don't think that he will change policy. This is Trump's policy. One ace he has in his pocket, Jeff, he can vote for himself. Senators have that ability on the Senate floor. It's unusual, but it is allowed.
Lisa Desjardins, our thanks to you as always.
You're welcome.
Support journalism you trust. support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.